My name is Ayus.
And we are the ladies of Vivacious Violence Solutions. With the Women's Month coming to an end, we are going to have some discussions about the Choose to Challenge, right? On March 8th, 2021, a lot of ladies, a lot of people actually in solidarity, chose to challenge women's biases and inequality and also to seek out and celebrate women's achievements. So we will be talking about that, and then we are also going to take the stand to challenge ourselves as well. So, yeah, awesome.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we are choosing to challenge and call out gender biases and inequalities or inequality. So we're choosing to seek out and celebrate women's achievements. We're going to be addressing two important parts, and that's questioning stereotypes, right? And also questioning popular culture. All right, we'll be starting with um, questioning stereotypes, which, is what a woman should do and shouldn't do. And all right, I just take it from there.
All right, so there's the popular saying, they say it's a man's world, right? We hear that a lot. And even when it comes to professions as well, uh, we women, we are taught and brought up to go in certain directions, and that certain professions are for men, like being engineers and pilots, and the woman should have a more nurturing profession, like a teacher, so that when the child goes to school, you go to work, and when the child is back home, you still resume your womanly duties and take care of the child as well. Or to be a nurse, you know,
Right, right.
and nurturing careers like that. But when it comes to maybe being an engineer, it's kind of frowned upon till today. I have an engineer friend, and she tells me about the challenges that she goes through at work, being one of the few lady engineers that have risen to a particular hierarchy in her company.
Mhm.
And it's been tough for her.
Yeah.
So yes, so absolutely, I mean, what do you think about that? Professions, right? I mean,
Right, right.
I can't I can't just decide that today I want to be a bodybuilder. I can't
Yeah, I
just decide
know.
that today I want to be a pilot. It's like women have to, scale through so many hurdles in the workplace to be able to be respected, at their
Right, right,
jobs. Yeah.
right. I think it's that idea that women shouldn't be ambitious, right? They shouldn't choose like careers that make them look ambitious, but instead nurturing, right? Which is something we're questioning for sure. Another thing we're questioning is, and we do this to ourselves like women. So we're talking about, challenging the way other gender um, perceive us to do something in a certain way and not to do. And also ourselves as women, right? So an example is, you know, like cooking from the scratch or making homemade meals for your family, right? Some people say, oh, it's a woman's work. Like you're a woman, you have to cook for your family, and ordering food, out, like take out and all of that. It's not womanly, right? So we are choosing to challenge that notion that women shouldn't order takeouts, shouldn't have like a caterer that cooks the meal for the family, like for the whole month. And women should cook. So that's what we're challenging. That women can decide how they want to eat in their household, whether they cook or they order, right? There is no womanly duties attached to that. Everybody just has to eat, right? I think that's what's most important, right? Yeah. I
Yeah.
what do you think about that?
Absolutely, and it's so real, right? It's another thing for the male folk to say those things to us, but we find that even the woman folk, the women folk will also make the the same, make those kinds of expressions as well, and say,
Mhm.
okay, well, okay, so what are you doing today? Oh, I'm ordering takeout today. Oh, is that something that you should do? Shouldn't you go
Right.
and prepare a good meal for your
Right.
husband?
Especially when you say that often, right? You're like, oh, you do it
Exactly.
all the time, right? Like you should cook for your husband, you should cook for your kids, but they should
Exactly.
love cooking and not all the time order in, right?
Mhm. It's the
Oh
same
yeah.
thing to when it also comes with sometimes like babysitting the kids, right? you know, you know,
Yeah, yeah,
like, oh my, I'm going to take it. I'm going out with the girls, but who is going to be watching the kids?
yeah. So
Oh,
that's
my
the
husband is going to
caregiver.
watch
You're
the
talking
kids.
about caregiving, right? It's
Yeah,
not
caregiving.
it's not it's not solely a woman's job, but that anybody, when it comes to the parent, any parents can take care of their kids, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. And so we're moving to the next one, which is a question: popular culture. And so we're talking about how a woman should look and or behave, or how a woman shouldn't look and or behave, right? So the first first point under that is I like this one a lot. I mean, oh, yams are for women. Are for men, I mean.
Men,
So when we
men.
say yams, it's like Nigerian way of saying that, you have like a thick calf, right? It's called calf, right? That, footballers, for example, like male footballers, again, when they mention footballers, they say like male footballers are the ones that should have um, their legs should look a certain way, right? So
Hmm.
making that passing comments like, men should have calves and not women.
Hmm. Or
So
maybe a woman shouldn't have so many muscles. You shouldn't be
yeah,
so
yeah,
ripped, like they call it, or so chiseled out. A woman
right,
should look a certain way. I
yeah,
get that a lot because I do fitness with a couple of ladies, and I do hear that comment very often where they say, no, I don't want to be so muscular like a man. I don't,
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
want to build those muscles and
yeah,
look like a man. you know
right, right. Especially even the one at the arms as well. I
yeah,
people
even
a lot
the
of
arms, yeah,
people have
the
said that as
guns,
well.
right? Yeah.
Where I'm like, well, I need to lift some weights to strengthen my muscle. And they're like, oh, don't build like muscles like men, where you wear like sleeveless, for example, and everyone is seeing like it looks muscular, right? So that's what we're questioning, that popular culture that a woman should look a certain way, right? Women can decide. We can decide however we want to look. If we like muscles, like sister, build a muscle.
Build it.
Right? There's no way a woman should look. That's what we're trying to address here. Another thing under questioning popular culture will be um, is the way a woman should behave. So an example would be, let's say you're out with your let's say with your friends. So whether female friends, male friends, and it's just a jolly environment, everybody chatting and having fun and just relaxing, and then someone says something that is funny, and then you laugh and you're laughing and maybe raising your leg up like you want to
I,
be doing it.
you
And
burst
then
out
someone be like,
laughing.
ladies shouldn't laugh that way. Like seriously. Like come on, Naba. How should a lady laugh or not laugh? So we're questioning that,
Yeah.
right? Popular culture about the way a woman should behave. Like we should be free to behave any way we want to behave. Of
Yeah.
course, we're not propagating bad behavior. That's not what we're talking about. But we're talking about things like laughter. Like there's
Hmm.
no way a woman should laugh or shouldn't laugh, and there's no way a man should laugh and shouldn't laugh. A certain way of laughter isn't what would I say? Isn't um, linked to gender, right? If it's
Absolutely.
funny, like laugh out loud, right? That's how the
Yeah.
LOL comes from. Laugh
Uh-huh.
out loud, right?
Yeah. I mean,
How you
even the way we talk sometimes, you could just be talking and maybe, out of excitement, talking a little bit louder than
right, right,
usual,
right.
and then you're like, oh, use your inside voice,
Yeah,
comport.
yeah, I know, right? And I think there's no problem with kind of telling the person tone it down a little bit. Maybe you're in a setting where it needs to be quiet, maybe it's a
Hmm.
seminar, a conference, or maybe a formal setting, right? I think it's attaching the comment or linking it to
To
A woman,
gender.
yeah, to gender, like you shouldn't laugh out this way, you shouldn't talk this way. That's
Mhm.
when there's a problem, right?
Yeah.
What,
But funny
what
enough,
do you think?
even walking, even the way you walk, because I kind of growing up as a kind of like a tomboy. I was like a tomboy growing up, and I can in so many times my mom, she would tell me, stop walking that way. Walk like a lady. Walk like a lady. Look,
Yeah,
look ahead of you.
yeah.
Don't look down and
Shoulder and
slouch.
eye,
Don't
and then
slouch.
yeah,
Shoulders
yeah,
back.
yeah,
You know. And then I think then, she would literally put me on her knee and
yeah,
pull my
yeah,
back. Like
yeah, yeah.
you should walk. Like you should be upright. Walk a
Right,
certain. Look
right.
ahead. Don't look down. And then shoulders back.
Yeah, I got it as well. And I would say, like, I know our parents then were trying to kind of fine tune us to dance with the tone of culture of how a woman should be. But that's why we're challenging all those perceptions
Absolutely.
about gender, the female gender, like women, right? So another point here that we're talking about is dressing, the way a woman should dress. What do you think about that, Ayus?
I don't know. I know. Yeah, there's a lot when it comes to the way a woman should dress. I mean, from the pristine, the skirts, and I mean, even at a time, I know even at a time, even wearing pants was kind of frowned upon. When a
Mhm,
woman does wear that. I lived in India
mhm.
for a while, and there was a time they were arresting women dressed in pants. Yes, they would
Oh, really?
they will arrest you.
Oh, I thought
And
I
a
thought the
lot of
pants, like sorry, there's some of it that came with pants,
yeah,
like it
they
was
do have saris, but they don't. It's not like where when we wear pants or wear a pair of jeans and a shirt that doesn't quite cover
or
all
the
the.
bomb.
They do have all their traditional attires. The sari is
Mhm.
doesn't involve pants. It's like the wrapper and all that. But they do
Oh, okay.
have the something they call the salwars, like pants.
Oh,
But
I know those ones.
that the tops are usually knee length or
Yeah, that's
about
true.
or stop at the thigh. So they
Mm.
don't really encourage, especially they don't really encourage, tops that, show the figure so much, so like when you wear the jeans and you just wear a t-shirt,
Right.
just hanging on your waist or something,
Mhm.
they feel it's more decent when you wear their kurtas, which is like to the knee length or just
Mhm.
hanging on the thigh. So it looks more decent according to them. So yeah, at a point in time, wearing pants out was wearing a pair of jeans as a woman was
Frowned upon.
it was not something that they would openly embrace. And I guess it
Right.
also depends on the part of India that you were at that time. I
Mm.
noticed those in the Delhi area, they were more reserved than those in like the Mumbai, the city, big
Mhm.
city and all that. Even though Delhi
Mhm.
was a big city, but they did have their own cultural, you know, inclinations and all that. So
Oh,
yes,
that's
so
true.
even the way we dress.
Yes, I know, right? And that takes us to diet. Like a woman should look a certain way. They shouldn't look that plump, They should always maintain the womanly figure. Again, what's a womanly figure? Right? Like some people do like the figure eight. So because of that, like women should constantly check what they eat. And that's why you see a lot of, people are on diet. Some people don't eat just because they're trying um to live by that perception of how a woman should look or shouldn't look. And that's
Yeah.
what we're questioning popular culture of the way a woman should look or behave or shouldn't look or behave. Right? Yeah, you can look however you want to look. All right. Yeah, so
As long as you're decent. As
yes,
long as
yes,
you're decent, I don't think
yes.
there should be any, you shouldn't think, oh, I shouldn't look this way or I shouldn't wear this. As long as you're decent in what you're wearing,
Right.
you should be allowed to.
Right. Again, we're choosing to challenge and call out gender bias and inequality. And we choose to seek out and celebrate women's successes. So, however, women choose to express that, that's what we're going to do as women. And we can speak about this because we are women and something that affects us, affects our community. And we hope that with the IWD movement, the International Women's Day, the theme for this year is choose to challenge. We hope that, we can be better, right, off than the way we've been, and truly change and or truly try to incorporate, our pledges of choosing to challenge gender bias and inequality.
Mm.
So we are going to take our pledge individually as well, and just showing our support and our solidarity that we are in this together.
Absolutely. I choose to challenge that the notion that a male child is more important than a girl child. I choose to challenge that a boy's education is more important than a girl's education. Male or female, we should all be entitled to the same kind of opportunities, and there should be no discrimination there. That's what I choose to challenge.
I choose to challenge the phrase or the notion that a woman should behave in a certain way or shouldn't behave in a certain way or should do or shouldn't do. Instead, I choose to seek out women's individuality and celebrate women's achievements, however way they choose to express themselves. I'm a woman and I totally support this.
I am a woman. Women can do anything. We are strong. We are courageous. We are dependable. We belong in places where decisions are being made. Choose to challenge.
So we're calling out all women out there to be intentional about our support of one another, especially when it comes to when it has to do with the gender biases. We need to be intentional and be supportive of one another.
Yes. So we are choosing to seek out and celebrate women's achievements. Hashtag IWD 2021. Hashtag I choose to challenge.